All right, guys, you're gonna have to forgive me. My allergies are awful today. So I have a little bit of a rasp. It's probably because of that, and I already worked out. Anyway, as you can see, I have a home gym now. Cost me a pretty penny, but we can answer some important questions when it comes to this. Today, I'm going to be experimenting on how much we actually pull when we do manual stretches. Before I get into it, but before I take it a step further, in the description below and hopefully the pinned comment, there will be a link for BD's Big Book of Length. Essentially, it is everything I've learned in the past year about therapeutic penis elongation. What that means is that I've taken research studies on physical therapy and I've applied it to penis enlargement. This allows us to find some metrics to shoot for. This allows us to know roughly how much work we need to do and what's most effective might be worth your while. So now that's out of the way. What I'm going to do is pull this between my legs. There's a few rules. First, to mimic a penis more, I put a piece of tubing at the base. If my hand touches the nub at the top, that means I am cheating. Not a good pull. Then, if I have to take a step further to like lock out my arm, you can't do that with your penis for obvious reasons because it's attached to your body. So that's not going to work. Then, depending on if my hand slides tremendously or if I grip with all 4 fingers, that's not going to be like a manual stretch because we kind of teach an okay grip, maybe sometimes 2 fingers. 3 or 4, you're not actually really stretching the shaft, you're stretching the skin. So those are the caveats. Let me get set up and we can then play around with it and see what weight I stop at. Now, another big disclaimer, I'm relatively strong, 365 single bench press. I consider myself stronger than most. There are definitely individuals much stronger than me, but for the majority of you, you're either going to be at or below my level. So keep that in mind. All right, so I did tuck in just so you could easily see what I am doing. I might need to adjust the camera angle. Whoops, wrong way. There. So, we are starting at 10 pounds of tension, okay? Man, I look like a doofus like this, but here we go. This I've already tested. I'm gonna have to take a step forward just so it's long enough, but like, okay. So, wait. Oh my goodness. All right, so I fucked up the beginning already. I did not actually pull the rope. So let's try this again. This is 10 pounds. Remember the rules. I can't hoist forward. I can't have my hand touch the front, and I should be only using 1 to 2 fingers grip. Okay, fix the camera, here we go. So, yeah, as I was saying, this is pretty easy to hold. It's 10 pounds of tension. I could probably hold this for 5 minutes. Granted, my arms will start burning. That is the major issue with this, is since it is 10 pounds to start, most guys are gonna start feeling the burn about a minute in. Now you can kind of hook your arm against the side like so, and then pull, but then it's kind of a angled pull, but then you can hold it for longer, right? So I'm gonna say I could hold this for about 5 minutes, but then I'd have to switch hands. Switching hands, it feels like nothing. So yeah, 10 pounds, pretty simple. I'm assuming most of you guys will be pulling about that hard. 15 pounds. Okay, ready. Definitely more strain is right here. So like, I guess that's the top head of the tricep. Again, I can hold it pretty simple. I don't know how much long or how long I can hold it for, but you get the idea. I'd rather not be here all day. I got a lot of stuff to do. I am slipping for sure though. You see how I'm barely touching? So let's readjust. So if like you switch every 30 seconds, pulling relatively hard, and then if we do the arm brace, you could probably do it for, again, about 5-10 minutes. It's more gonna be the forearm issue for me than it is gonna be a tricep issue. 20 pounds. I guess I got microplates somewhere around here, but for the purposes of this video, you kind of get the idea, right? So, again, I've already tried this. We could try overhand too. Oh, yeah, 20 pounds is probably going to be the upper limit for most of you guys. And as you can see, my hand was touching just a tad, but I can still hold it. And then if I brace, it's not nearly as bad. But then are we actually applying the tension to the penis, or are we applying tension to our hip? Because our elbow is digging into the side. So actually my bracing comment's probably wrong. Whew. All right. So I could probably do 30 to 40 seconds, switch, and then get my 5 minutes in. But I really don't recommend even using 20 pounds of tension. I'd recommend no more than 15. And in most cases, I keep it below 10. Okay. Oh. 25. I can't remember where I wasn't able to pull out without a hoist. But we'll figure it out together, huh? Okay. So. Oh yeah. 25 pounds. Now, I am down to one finger, if you can't tell. I am bracing a bit, and I'm barely able to pull. Let me switch to my fresh arm. There we go. Whew. So, this is probably my upper limit for like practical use. I really don't think many of you will be pulling this hard, because that's gonna actually, was I even pulling out? Yeah, okay. So 25 pounds, I did already fail a little bit on. I am gripping with all four hands. There is a bit of slippage. That could just be my own sweat. It's hard to think and do this. I am bracing a bit, but I wouldn't like roll it out as cheating. Holy God. Okay, and that became more of a front delt thing for me. So tricep. Right arm. Okay, so unless you are stronger than me, I don't think you're gonna be pulling with this much tension, and I'm probably in like the 95th to 99th percentile. So 5 out of 100 to 1 out of 100 of you will be pulling this hard with ease. Oh. 30. Now, there's another important thing that we didn't really talk about yet, is that using this much weight is gonna cause a lot of pain if your grip is exceptionally tight to, you know, keep the tension on. So there's a good chance that none of you will actually be pulling this much. This is just like the practical limit. As you can see, I'm getting a little out of breath. All right. I might not be able to pull straight out like this. There we go. Here, baby. Okay. So there is no way I'm going to be able to do more than 2-minute holds at 30 some pounds. And this is like a little too long, if you know what I'm saying, even for me. But that only changes the angle of work slightly. Whew. Brace. Pull. Okay. Yeah. So I doubt any of you are going to be able to do 30 pounds for an extended period of time. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to fail at. I mean, I'm starting to get a fucking arm pump, which is always good, right? All right, 35. Oh my God, just barely got it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely cheated a little bit because I was doing a full grip. So I was able to do 10 seconds at 35 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. All right, now I know I don't have like gigantic arms, but for the most part, 35 pounds of tension is a lot, okay? If you're able to generate that manually without pain, you're a bit of a freak. But for the sake of completion, I'm gonna go up to 40, which I believe I'm going to fail at. Ugh, getting a lower back pump too from this. It's like a shitty glute pull. Okay, ready? Not really, but here we go. Yeah, I'm not getting it up. Well, I am, but I'm definitely cheating. Full 4 fingers, and then really what I'm doing is kind of like doing a glute bridge to pull it up. But yeah, 40 pounds is my limit. I don't know what we can do with that information. other than just compare it to like manuals and such. Sorry, brains in the muscles, not brains in the muscle. Blood is in the muscles and not in the brain right now. But basically what this has told me is that most of you are going to be doing about 7 to 15 pounds comfortably with your manual stretches, which is a little bit more than I actually recommend starting off. I recommend about 5 pounds starting for hanging and extending. Now, excuse me, I'm out of breath. So, there might be a case that we need to take it a little bit easier doing manuals at the very beginning. But as you can see, there's a clear bit of room for progressive overload, especially if you're a strong guy. So you need to take it easy, and this is why mostly me and Perv recommend that you use some kind of weight to know exactly how much you're doing, just so that you are not well outside of your recommended tolerance range. I've done PE for 6 to 8 years, in total 10 years over time. Gotta switch positions. But there was only one time where I went over 15 pounds for more than a month. And then I switched immediately to girth, and I'm still working about 7.5 to 10 pounds of tension. You don't need progressive overload as much as we used to think for gains. If you need progressive overload, that's actually a sign that you're doing too much work. And I'm working on that into my theories now. But for the time being, don't try to rip your dick off while doing manuals is the best way to put it, because I had to put an obscene amount of tension just to lift it up, and like my shoulders and triceps have a bit of a pump afterwards. If you have a pump after doing your stretches in your arms, you're probably doing way too much effort. People do say that when they're seated like this, they can use their arm like this. I mean, let's try it real quick. Hey, yeah, I can't even pull it. Yeah, 40 pounds is pulling me back, but I am getting more bicep engagement, so maybe, but you know, there's still going to be a limiting factor of more of an isolation static hold with the muscle. So long term, you're not going to be able to do upwards of 40 pounds of pressure tension. I'm just spitballing right now, but hopefully this gives you guys an idea of how much effort you need to be applying while doing manuals. So just to recap, let me set it back to 10 pounds just to give you an idea. And 10 pounds is the lowest this setup does. So, like, I can hold this indefinitely. Wow, I'm really out of breath. But that's it. Like, barely any flexion. Is more or less just bringing your arm slightly forward, right? Granted, it really depends on how hung you are to where the angle is going to be. But at any rate, it's not going to kill you long term. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments and on Reddit and gettingbigger.io. I really need to start pushing that more. I also need to work on looking at the camera instead of the screen beside the camera because I'm a narcissist. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed my messy basement.